everyone, and welcome to my review for Into the Storm. Tornadoes. It's a little preview of what you're going to get in this film. Because this movie is all about, of course, tornadoes. I mean, the storm part of the title doesn't make you automatically think it's going to be about storms. About tornadoes. But, of course, the word storm will make you think about storms. But it's just pretty much all about tornadoes in this film. I mean, there's sometimes here and there where you see, like, hail and maybe some heavy rain or maybe just some heavy gusts of wind that have nothing to do with the tornado. But for the most part, it's all about tornadoes. So I was actually somewhat looking forward to this, especially since the first trailer I thought was very strong, where it didn't show any characters. It just had, like, that very, very, like, quiet beginning, and then, of course, you know, it showed you all the tornado stuff. And I was really, really looking forward to it after that trailer. Second trailer, not so much. It got a little goofier. I thought it was going to be more serious, but it ended up not being very serious at all. It was a very goofy film. But, that doesn't mean it was bad. But anyway, I was looking forward to this film. I was. So what did I think of Into the Storm? Well, let's talk about it. The story is not even dumb. It's almost non-existent. I mean, it really is just a bunch of people doing their daily stuff. Tornado comes. Oh no, tornado. I should just explain it like that. Oh no, tornado. Oh, we gotta hide. Oh no, tornado. Oh no, our friend died. He got sucked up into a tornado. No. So that's pretty much it. There you go. I explained the story again. So I wasn't expecting much from the story after that second trailer, and I'm glad I didn't, because there really isn't much story, and there really isn't much character here. You don't really care for any of the characters. The only two I cared about was not Thorin or Laurie. No, screw Laurie or Thorin, or Lauren and Dory, or whatever. No, the two I cared about were these two rednecks in this film. I forgot to actually mention them in the story. These two rednecks that are, like, YouTube, they want to be YouTube stars, and they want to do all these, like, insane stunts, and of course a big tornado happens, so of course, you know what they're doing, they're recording it, they're like chasing it, they're like, whoa, look at this tornado, whoa, get sucked up, and they are the two most obnoxious rednecks I've ever seen in film. But because they're not going around being, you know, like a redneck in a horror film where they're just, like, threatening people and stuff, no, they're just fun, like, you know, they just love having fun, and I was having fun with them. Every time they showed up, I was like, yay, rednecks, and I enjoyed it. But, everybody else was completely forgettable. You know where it's going to go. You know that at least most of them are going to be okay. At least the two main stars, you know, are going to be okay. It's very predictable, very, very just bland. But you weren't coming into this expecting character. You're expecting the storm, you know? So what did I think of the storm itself? Let's find out. And the storm was muy bueno. When it got to all the tornadoes and the, you know, fire tornado, which isn't a spoiler, again, it was in the trailer. If it's in the trailer, I consider it not a spoiler to mention it, okay? So there's like fire tornadoes. There's a part where a big ass tornado shows up. I'm like, whoa, that's a big tornado. And then there's like 5 little tornadoes. I'm like, okay, it doesn't make any sense, but yay. When a tornado shows up and wrecks some stuff, it's fun. And not only is it fun, very well filmed, which is surprising considering it's a found footage film, which I'll talk about in a second. But, yeah, it's a found footage film. I know I probably blew some people's minds away if they haven't seen this film yet. But, also, what really was very impressive was the special effects. This movie only cost around $50 million to make, which is really surprising considering all the tornadoes, and you get a lot of shots of the tornadoes destroying stuff, like destroying whole airfields and stuff, like, well, not air, but like airplane ports. I don't know what, I don't know anything, but they're destroying a lot of, like, really big stuff, like destroying parts of buildings, destroying whole buildings. Just, you see a lot of tornadoes and they look great. They really do. Destroying stuff. It's a lot of fun to watch them destroy stuff. It's very scary. It's very intense too at times, and the movie definitely does not look cheap. The special effects are great all around. Maybe there's a couple of times here and there. I would say, like, the fire tornado, it's not in there too much, so don't expect the fire tornado to be a big menace in this film. It shows up for, I was about to say he shows up for a couple minutes and he kills one person and that's it, which is a little disappointing. But I would say, like, the fire on the tornado at times looked a little fake, but still, it was a fire tornado. I would like to see that any day, even if the fire looks kind of fake. That's fine. I would love to see a fire tornado. Now in real life. In a movie. I wouldn't want to see it in real life. No. Unless I'm miles away. I mean, like at least 500. So, anyway, I really enjoyed when it went to the storms. The storm parts were intense, very, very well filmed, very, very well done special effects wise. I loved it. But I have to say, even though the characters are forgettable, unmemorable, like after a couple days you will forget them, I loved, like I said, I love the redneck characters, but there is actually one other character I wanted to mention before. There's one character played by Matt Walsh I really like, who is I guess the head of the Storm Chasers. He's the leader. He's the guy that gets the funding and makes sure the show that they're doing continues to go. I actually liked him, but for the most part, the characters are unmemorable. You don't really care what happens to them, even if it's intense. If something happened, you'd just be like, oh, okay, bye. Whatever. It's not like it really matters. And when it gets to the dramatic parts, there's supposed to be a lot of like high school dramatic stuff, and Richard Armitage's character like lost a wife, and it affects his relationship with his two sons. And when it gets to that stuff, which is a lot of the movie, it's really slow and just it's pondering. I'm just like, oh god, just get to the storm, and then the storm comes. I'm like, yay, storm. Oh man, when it gets to the storm, it's fun. Like I wish they just cut this movie, kept the rednecks, kept all the good parts with Matt Walsh, and then all the storms. Like it would only be like 45 minutes long, but still, it would be a very entertaining short film. Just all the rednecks. Like, you know what, the rednecks should have been the main characters. If the rednecks were the main characters, and for some reason they knew a little bit about tornadoes, so at least they can give out some facts about tornadoes throughout the film, I would have been okay with that. I would have been like, yay, I love these guys. They're just like riding ATVs and a tornado in the background. They're just filming themselves like, yo, look at me, I'm right next to a tornado, and he's literally like maybe like, I don't know, like 500 feet away from a tornado. Like, those guys are great. I really like them. But yeah, when it gets to dramatic stuff, it's bull. It's annoying. The ending is very rushed, I felt. But for the most part, I did enjoy this film. I did, especially with the storms. So this isn't as bad as some people have said. It has like a 20% Rotten Tomatoes, but it's not great. I'm gonna give it a 20. I'm gonna give it a 25 out of a 40. So there you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.